Very quick overnight camp. It's meant to rain tonight, which will be the first time it's rained in this area in 6 months, maybe 6 months. It's meant to rain, it might not. So at basics, my new walking stick, which is actually a proper ski pole thingy, nice is that you can have this piece on the end for the concrete, and then in theory, can't remember how, but if you wiggle it enough, that comes off and there's a spike underneath it. How did I get that off before? Don't remember. There we go. Just twist it and it comes off. There we go. It's just basically just wedged on the end. So when you're actually going off concrete, you've got a nice point. So that's, yeah. It's one of these where you twist it to adjust the height. It can be a pain in the ass, but it works. I've not had it out properly, but that's going to go out now. Extra strong mints, bedtime juice, 2 litres of water, radio just in case you want some propaganda. Even the bloody classical FM is propaganda. They only do anyway. One piece of paracord. It's really thin, really small, and yet it's still 17 meters. If you want to measure how much you've got, wrap it around your arm, do it once, and then measure it with a tape measure. That way you can say, oh, that's 1 meter, that's 2 meters, and that way you can actually measure it a lot easier. Spare pair of socks, just in case. I came back from the last hike when I was doing the Ubex thing, and wearing one sock. I washed my socks from the night before. For some reason, even with 35 to 40 degrees centigrade of heat, they didn't dry. I think it was a humidity or something like that. New hammock. Weighs less than my left bollock. My jacket, jumper, fleece, army thingy, thin sleeping bag, underquilt, tarp. Something I'm not going to show you. And I've not done a review on it because it's too much fun. Things you can get for DJ equipment. You know, the previous little things like this, which is a cat training toy. You know, very nice cat training toy. Whereas this is a potato peeler. That is something that's a bit more interesting. Quite a bit more actually. And of course, all that goes to be burger. And that is basically it. The food is going to be 8 boiled eggs. And, ooh, I have a little chunk, piece, I think it's roast pork. Well, it's all Ukrainian soldier at the end of the day. New piece of roast pork, I might take that to nibble on. Chop it up into like little cubes, take it with me. That way I got something to actually eat when I get up there. It's nice to go on night without having substantial food in your belly, because your belly gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You get used to filling it. If you go for a day or so without filling it, it shrinks down, and that way you don't need as much food to feel as full. Also, it's nice not to have caffeine and sugar for 24 hours. You get so used to it. Like my breakfast in the morning is coffee. I don't have sugar in it, but I do have 3 or 4 digestive biscuits, which are 99.999% sugar and asbestos. So yeah, this is my overnight hike. It's still 40 degrees centigrade. Not according to weather forecast. Weather forecast, it's 25. According to my thermometer, which is not a mercury thermometer. We're not allowed mercury anymore. It's too publicly known that you can turn it into a power source. So that's my overnight little kit bag. Not taking much, just for the one night. So yeah. Bye. Very, very humid, and rain just now a little bit, which made the humidity worse, and quite windy. Holy crap. Just a couple of miles to go, nearly vertical. Well, body-wise, I made it up the hill, but I had stars in front of my eyes, nearly passing out from humidity. And I really wish I brought a lighter so I could start a little fire just to get rid of the bugs, because quite a few bugs starting to swarm, and I'm soaked, sweat. Didn't bring a spare t-shirt. Fuck it. Okay. Cue, fast forward. Okay, the problem is not, I don't think the straps are strong enough. They are, I think they're strong enough. It's just there's no dedicated loops in them. They're really thin, but the problem is that because they're so slick, your standard bowline is not going to be any good. So what I'm doing in each one, because it's just going to pull undone, is bowline and a half hitch. Bowline, and then take the tail end and just tuck it through into a half hitch. Like that, and just put it through. That way, you got something that's not going to pull undone. It'll break before it comes undone. In theory, hopefully. But it is so thin. The hammock, the straps, the snappy lock things, compared to That's right. It's not looking brilliant because you have to actually get in it before it hangs properly. It's like a fat bitch wearing a pair of leggings. She might stand there and look all nice and decent. As soon as she takes one step forward, massive camel toe. As soon as she bends over, transparent scaggy ass. So it's not going to look properly until I'm in it. So yeah, that looks, because when I get in there, the hammock's going to pull down lower. So it'll be going like that. The Bergen's covered. Because the hammock is so much smaller, it's two person, two Chinese people, it's two person, and it's got reasonable width for two people. But yeah, I'm really missing the length. The other one, it was 3 meters long. I think this one's only 2 meters. The actual line down bit inside, I think it's just 2 meters length. So I've lost a third of my length. But what this does mean though, is that the tarp fits. It actually does cover it. I think it's going to rain again. The only waterproofing I brought for myself, other than the tarp, is the bin bag with the hood and no arms. The little disposable thing this big, which is great, it does the job. But yeah, should be right. It's meant to really, really hammer down force gale force storm at about 4 or 5 in the morning. At which point I probably won't give a shit. I'm only down the hill, so I can keep this. I mean, I've got my army jacket thingy in there. It's a windproof thing. But always take it camping, even when there's heat wave a month ago on the coast. So yeah, it feels very, very thin. But the base is the same thickness, the actual thing you're lying on, because I can tell that by the amount of wind coming through. I've not brought the oven ready. I'm not going to need it. If it gets too cold, I'll have a few wanks, more than usual. So, your walking stick's doing alright. It feels very, very flimsy. It's doing the job. It's just, I'm a fat fuck. You know. So, I'm going for a walk. I'm soggy from sweating. I don't have a spare shirt. I'm not going to go topless because it's, I think, 8 o'clock in the evening, 8, 9 o'clock, and it's pretty windy, and if I go up the hill, without a shirt on, even a wet one, I'm gonna get a cold. It's that simple. I'm old. I'll just fucking die. It's that bad with my fucking health at the moment. Whereas a year and a half ago, I'd be fucking naked in the winter and wouldn't give a shit. Anyway, I need to go and take this up with my new toy to play with. And yeah, not something I'm putting on camera. It's the sort of thing that if I ever did get a subscriber base of worthy note or something, yes, I would probably have members only for things like what's in that bag. But only just so that people have an interest, you know, charging 50p a time. Alright, fuck it, walkies. What's really quite frustrating is that it's becoming impossible to get a boat on the water, anything above an inflatable that you can actually carry yourself on your back. It might just be this area or something, but everything I've tried looking into the past month, since I passed my boat course, there's no way I can get on the water with anything of any size. I could try to go to a different area and see about getting a boat, try and getting it on the sea, but the two areas here where it's meant to be possible, Watch It and the marina, the guy won't even tell me how much it costs, and he got very, very panicky when I said, well, just how much would it cost for a 4-metre launch to tie up in the marina, you know, per week, you know, per metre, and he wouldn't tell me. He refused. He kept, oh, well, we don't know, we have to do this, we don't know. I mean, the marina's nearly empty. There's only about 5 boats in it, and it can hold over 100. There's nobody to get in touch with the harbour master, because there's one harbour master for the West Somerset. I've emailed last week, no response. I've emailed the boat club in Minehead, no response. There's just no way to get onto the water. All the slipways that would give a boat access to the water are locked. There's bars going across, so you can't get through without an angle grinder. And they're constantly monitored as well with the live feed. So that's Minehead Harbour. The 4 slipways are all blocked off. Watch It Harbour and Marina, there's 2 slipways blocked off. You've got to actually cut through them to get access to them. The locals who are in position of authority, they're allowed. Like the police officer who's in charge of the local glory hut, the Sea Scouts, he's allowed access. Nobody else, apparently. Unless you want to go and spend £10,000 on a crane. And even then you need permits. Yeah, I mean, I've always called it a concentration camp, Jewish owned, American occupied, but it's more and more obvious. The fact that you can't get out of the county without a lot of hassle, let alone out of the country, or get a boat on the water. I mean, I've got the money to buy a brand new fucking cruiser. I've got 150 grand saved up, but I've got no way of getting it on the water. I even got in touch with a boat builder who builds custom boats, only like 5-metre ones in Wells and Somerset, which is 30 miles that direction or 8 hours on a bus. Sorry, 40 miles in that direction. And he said, yeah, he'll make one, he'll sell one, but he's got nobody to put it on the water for me. It's really frustrating because I want to get on the water, I want to get the fuck out. And rather conveniently, not mentioning my new toy, is a straight shot down there. It's the house of the cunt who's been terrorising me for the past 10 years. He's still chucking chicken bones around the house to attract rats and putting like glass bottles and gas lighters in a hedge to try and set fire to the place. And like walking around trying to give like 5-year-olds Class A drugs. And no one does anything or says anything. Just me. And on the pariah, I'm going to get abused. Because I'm making waves. I'm complaining. I shouldn't complain about black people. The father and son paedophile junkies. Of course, when he actually sees me, he runs. I saw him when I was walking up the hill. And he ran. He actually fucking ran away from me. Me with my walking stick. Fat old cripple. He won't come face to face to me. Unless he's got a police protection to, you know, protect him. God, these fucking cowards. kids. You never understand the mentality of someone being that much of a bitch. I just don't understand what I've done to make him so obsessed with me that all he thinks about is how he can fuck me over and all the things he can do to me. This has been 8 or 9 years now. 8 or 9 years, and all he thinks about is me. He's got a wife and kids. He's got a drug empire. Why is he so obsessed with me? Is he that desperate for a white cock? I mean, yes, mine is quite nice, but that's not the point. Maybe it's my hair. I do wonder if he's one of these guys that tried fucking about with me in prison that I bitchified. I went through so many inside. I don't know how many. It could be, I don't know. They're all the same. That's not a racist thing about him being black. Not completely. It's a fact that all junkies all look the same to me. White, black, brown. They all look the same. Right, fuck it. It's getting very windy up here. And my back's getting a bit chilly. So, well, hopefully I'm not going to be swarmed with ticks by the time I get back. My little toy work's a fucking treat. Although, I got the cheapest for the scope. It's like a 10 quid scope. The sort of thing is stuck on an air rifle. But yeah, it does a job. Scared away several sheep. The scope, not my penis. So, there are 12 issues here. Getting a bit fucking rainy over there. You can see it going horizontal. I'm actually above the rain at the moment. So, yeah. I'm so fucking glad I came out. If the house cat does get caught on fire whilst I'm up here, I'll be able to watch it from here because it's down there. And that is where all the building work was going on. But only at 1 o'clock in the fucking morning. I noticed that last summer. Every time I come up here at the weekend, because I was coming up every Saturday, and there was always building work going on there. Fucking humongous noises, and lights and shit, and helicopters. Every weekend for a couple of months. I'm tempted to go for a wander now, and my legs I got a little bit more mobile. There's no way to get to it. It's completely. There's no road, there's no track, there's no trail. It is just completely surrounded by shitty evergreen trees and gorse. There's a very suspicious valley across there as well. Another one across there. It's suspicious because it's not a river valley, which is what you would expect from that kind of shape. It's more like a cave in from route access, and that is a subsidence hole where you've had the ground give way. See, the thing about this area is called Minehead for a reason. It's not a German blowjob porn when it says Minehead. It's actually because it's all the mine shafts in the area. The whole fucking region, like 10 miles in every direction, is hollow. Of course, you would mention that to any fucker online. Oh, conspiracy theories, blah, 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 blah. In other words, shut the fuck up, don't tell anybody. But the whole place is hollow. So, yeah. I'm not saying there's a big underground fucking... There is a big underground. There has been for at least 1,000 years. I grew up... You can hear anything over the wind. I grew up in a place called Chepstow Mallet. And up until, I don't know, 10 years ago, it had the world's longest running, fully operating prison. And it had been running for like 1,000 years, the Chepstow Mallet prison. Now I think it's a tourist attraction. But everyone in the area knew about all the tunnels and the caverns underneath, because we had holes in our cellars where they would tunnel up. Every like year or two, somebody would dig their way into your cellar and, you know, leg it after having a food. So, yeah. About 9 o'clock now, I think. Technically, the sun went down 10 minutes ago. Nobody told the sun. Fucking rain clouds. Shit, I just noticed that. Yeah. Daylight, rain clouds. Fuck ton. Fuck off back to Wales, you bastards. Fuck me. I tell you something, if it weren't for the fact that this is a 45-degree angle slope, I would have to bring the tent up, my new one. Although the new tent is lightweight, very fucking thin, and it's fucking windy. Yeah, I don't think that new tent would like it up here in this wind. I'd have to build a fucking wall around it or something, or find a recessed hollow and get rid of the sheep. English accent. that of your. I mean, I love being in the woods because it gives you protection. But being able to wake up and look at this view would be fucking awesome. Yeah, what I'm gonna have to do is get that my new tent. It's not gonna be good for the winter. Well, if we get a winter, we haven't for a few years. But what I might do is, I've got fuck all to do in my life right now. Still trying to get a boat, but what I might actually do is get that new tent and do what I thought I would never do again and go back to that fucking beach. It's a hell of a walk. It killed me for several days afterwards. Like the metal was smacking into my fucking kneecap. But yeah, I could take that new tent. I could even camp it on the rocks. I'd have to take my inflatable mattress. But yeah, I could put it on the rocks on the beach, get washed away, buggered by fish or whatever. But yeah, cool. Yeah, it's fucking cold now. Walkies. Here's the thing. Had I got on this hammock first, I'm not sure if it is a 2-person or a 1-person. It feels very, very short. It's got the width, okay. It's the shortness that's the problem. Yeah, if I'd got on this one before I got on the other hammock, this would be great. No complaints at all. It's just that because I got the other hammock, I was kind of spoilt by having 3-meter length inside instead of 2-meter length. Basically, with this one, if I stretch out, I'm going like that because of it's only 2-meter long, and you've got to have a drop at either end. That's how hammocks work. But it's getting fucking cold. I think next time I'll bring out my old one because I stitched up the netting, and it should be perfect. Just aside from the netting looking like shit, it should still work with the netting. It's just that with the amount of space I get with the other hammock, it's more comfort. Whereas this one is a lot thinner, so I'm lower to the ground because I'm not touching the ground. There's a gap, but I'm lower to the ground because I'm more cautious of falling out. Yeah, it's great for the price. I think it was like 17 quid or something. It was in the teens, like 16, 17 quid. I'm not going to go and buy. I'm not spending 60 quid to replace the one I've got because it's now more than double the price of what it was last year. But what I might do is keep this one as a spare and dig out my other one and bring up camping. See, now it's getting a bit chillier at night. I'm more inclined to go camping, tenting, hammocking. If it's too hot, I can't do it. I'd rather sit in the house with a flannel on my head to get the heat out of me. But now it's getting. I love cold weather. That's the thing. I want snow. I want ice, and it's just the temperature we got now at night in the winter is the same temperature that we would have in the summer in midday when I was a teenager. Unfortunately, that's not a joke. I found the Ordnance Survey book from 1982, and it said the maximum temperature in the UK was 17 degrees Celsius, and that was in July in the southwest. That's winter temperature now. So, yeah, and the wind is picking up, and it's fucking pretty chilly. Then I am kind of, bollock naked. So I'm going to be wearing my army jacket to bed, and probably having a t-shirt on top of my head. I could let down the sides more, and actually, yeah, I'm going to do that. The only problem with doing that, it means it's more difficult going for a piss. Trying to like flop my cock over the side during the night. But yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to let the sides down and tie those 2 sides underneath. That way it gives me a bit more wind protection, and because it is meant to hammer down. It's meant to be a massive storm coming in about 6 hours. Because the sun supposedly went down 3 hours ago. It's now 11 o'clock at night. It does not look like 11 o'clock at night. So, yeah, that's a bit freaky. Well then, global shit has been fucking up for a few decades now. Like, I think it was 20 years ago, The Earth's axis stopped. The rotation of the planet stopped. That's the thing they didn't tell you on the news. Yeah, is it about 20, 30 years ago? They actually recorded the Earth's magnetic core stopped spinning for, I don't know how long it was. It could have been hours or minutes. But it stopped spinning and then started spinning in the opposite direction. Which means it would probably take a few decades for the surface of the planet to catch up with the fact that it's spinning in the wrong fucking direction. So that could explain a lot of shit going on. Also the fact why all the rabbis think that all life is going to end on the planet next year. Although a lot of that is because they fucking caused it. Anyway, no fucker watching my videos. What a shame. Too bad, so sad, never mind. I think with regard to the boats, I don't know why fuck I'm talking to my phone.
No one else to talk to apart from your penis.
Yeah, and he's just got a one funny brain. Anyway. Twins. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about this. I saw a boat club, not advertised, but I was looking at river land next to the rivers. That's actually a word for it. Like just fields next to a river that can lead to a river, to lead to a river, to lead to an estuary, to lead to the sea. And maybe buying one of these bogs, and nobody will sell them. It is so restricted, getting access to the water. It is concentration camp. But I did see one field that had a sign saying boat club. Did a bit of searching, as I do. Found out there's actually a website. So what I might do Monday, because today's Saturday, what I might do on Monday is I'm going to try ringing the Minehead Boat Club to see if there's any answer. I always try email first because I'm cheap. If I get no joy from them, I'll try ringing the harbour master. If I get no joy from him, I'm going to ring this boat club, if there is a number, if there is or not. Well, I say boat club. I think it's basically a barn and a house on a river, basically. I've no idea if it is still active or what. The biggest hassle with that place for me is transportation, getting there. Because I can get to the nearest town, which will take me probably 3.5 hours. If the buses are working correctly, it'll take me about 3.5 hours to get to the nearest town. But then it's either going to be a taxi, which is going to cost me 50 quid, or trying to hike, which I don't know the area. Well, I don't know the roads for hiking. So it really would be a case of I'm going to get a taxi from fucking Bridgewater. Shit. If there's any taxis available. Fucking hell. Just to get out there, because with the heat, lack of shelter, because they've been cut down all the trees. There's so few woodland left in the UK. They've just been fucking clear felling everything. Because it blocks the radio signal. Right, so, yeah, plans. I want to get a boat on the water. I'd rather die by my own fucking hand, drowning out in the ocean. Hello, Leaf. Leaf committed suicide. Poor Leaf. I'd rather die by my own fucking means out in the ocean than just sit around vegetating. Oh yeah, the claim, my little diary, the claim that was going through with after the bike crash, that nonce seawell fucking mushed my leg. Yeah, it's now 4 times I've been mutilated, and each time by government employees. How coincidental. Anyway, the one aspect of that, they've now said we're not going to do anything else for you, is this, whether it's doing, we'll see if we can get something to help your life and, get you back on track. Yeah, a few bits of rubber sheeting and that was about it, and a fucking plastic thing that picks stuff up off the ground. Yeah, they did fuck all. All they cared about was getting consent to sell my information to Israel. Fucking scum cunts. And of course they refused to employ anybody English. I mean, I could have had the whole fucking house steam cleaned and bleached, but they would only employ one person, and she happens to be a skank that I used to live around the back, and she's not a nice person. She got really pissed off because I kept turning her down. I've been celibate for 14 years, and I'm quite happy jerking my own fucking gherkin. I don't want the grief, I don't want the stress. But I do miss the taste of fish. Twins. Anyway, yeah, so that aspect of it is now finished. They're no longer having anything to do with me because whatever the fuck. I've still not got a report yet from the psychiatric evaluation, which happened a month ago, and I've still not received a report on that. And that should be the final fucking nail in me getting the bastard settlement. And after I'm not sure saying the GP pissed himself, Mr. fucking Israeli, but he kept laughing whenever I said how much pain I'm in. So I got a bit narky with him. But I've got a psychiatric phone call, I think it's Monday. I've got the psychiatric assessment on Tuesday. I've got another assessment on Wednesday. I'm not going to bother. Or if I get really bored, I might wander out. But honestly, I can't be fucking asked. It's the same shit every time. Do drugs. Which I won't fucking do. I'm not seeing any squirrels yet today, but I have. Any rats? They're not rats, they're squirrels. It's like I've read too many fucking rat horror books. James Herbert, you bastard. But yeah, there's a load of guys around just now. I think I pissed it. What the fuck is that? That's weird. That is very strange. So it's very distinctive, and it wasn't there earlier. La, la, la. So yeah. I am still waiting for the police to come back round. Sorry, from the police, not the police, but from the police. In other words, the thought police, the ones who come round and lock you up with the other, 80,000 inmates who have not committed crimes. They're just locked up in prison because they don't think the way the Jewish people want you to. In other words, if you complain about being exterminated by Jews, then you end up getting locked up, sectioned. And especially after that Jewish family on the bus. Oh, that's fucking creeped me out. I was so close to just screaming or punching the fucking father in the head. It really fucking creeped me out. I mean, I speak some Hebrew. I speak... Okay, I speak English. But I understand 15, 16 different languages. I can get by, Mischandsbrod, Glopniks, and I can get by in about 10 languages. And maybe like 15, 16, I can get passable on it. So I understand Hebrew. And there was a family of 6. You've got the teenage sister with the really hairy legs. There's got the teenage sister constantly snogging her 7-year-old brother. You've got the father and with the daughter who's like, I don't know, she was 8, 9 or 10 years old. Budding is the expression. She had like an inch sticking out of her chest. And he was constantly rubbing the inside of his bicep against her tits. Buds. Constantly. And she's on the bus on broad daylight. And he was doing this for the whole trip from Taunton to Washford, which was over an hour. And it was just constant. Then you look at the other teenage boy with the mummy, and she's basically slowly massaging his penis through his trousers, just rubbing the inside of his thigh with his bulge. Yeah, this whole Jewish-Irish thing where, like, snogging their own babies and the kissing game, this whole incestuous paedophile thing, it's gotten to the point now where they're so cocksure. Talking of which, I just finished pissing. So, they're so cocksure of their supremacy that they just don't give a shit. They just, like, molesting their own children in public, incestuous paedophile style, and oh, I really don't want to be here anymore. I mean, I turned myself in when I came back to this country because I wanted to spend my last days in the place where I was born. I fucking don't want to anymore. It's just that physically I can't go back to where I do have properties. I need a boat. Fuck's sake. Oh well, bedtime. Radio's gone off. Had about 20 minutes of non nigga 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 nigga. Then I went straight back to 80s music nigga 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 nigga. 90s music nigga 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 nigga. 2000s music nigga 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 nigga. Going back into my way too small bed. And it's alright, it's just... okay, I've got to tie that up, haven't I? Right, yeah, I'm going to tie that underneath. Give me a bit more protection as well when it pisses down the rain. Oh, nighty night, campers. Oh, the cycle of life. Water goes in one end, comes out the other. Well, it rained a bit just now. So, yeah, stay dry. You get hit by the wind and you get a little shiver, but most of the time it's fucking still really warm. I dread to think how bad it is down the valley, where it's over 95% humidity. At least up here the breeze keeps a lot of humidity away. Oh. It's really freaky because like the camera is so shit. I'm actually hoping it breaks at some point. It's breaking a little bit. It's only a few months, 6 months old, I think. It's like I can see across there with a torch, but it's not showing anything on camera. It is that crap. Oh, fuck. Well, it's 4 a.m. The main storm is meant to be at 5. So, wide awake. Then I don't come out to get a full night's sleep. I don't get full night's sleep. I never get more than, I think 2 hours is the most I've had in one go in 20 years. And the only time I ever got more than 2 hours at a time has either been sleeping pills or put my kids to sleep when they snuggle up with me. Oh well. Back to my hammock before I attract all the bugs. Good morning, campers. Well, the rain is kind of coming down. Kind of. It's a case of, because of the holly trees, I can feel like a mist thing. But I can see through the woods and it's white and it should be green because of the trees on the other side of the valley. So that I'm in a cloud, basically. Down in the valley it's probably pissing down. But up here I'm actually in the cloud. So it's yeah. I can feel the rain. But yeah, even though the tarp is small, I gotta make sure I keep an eye on it, otherwise it blows up and I don't fancy my boots getting wet. But yeah, the backpack's is covered, the boots are covered, I'm kinda covered. I can feel it now and again coming through the side. But it's not hammering it down. If it was, I would reorganise things. I mean, what I could do is readjust the hammock so it's half the length and then use it as a chair to sit in, and that way the tarp will completely cover me. But I can't be asked. It's not that wet. The hammock is too short for me, basically, because by the time your feet get down the end, it feels very, very confined. Yeah, it's a 2 metre one. And I'm really, really missing the length and the space of my other one. It's so relaxing. I mean, even though it is pretty cold and the wind hits you, when the wind's not hitting you, you're still warm. I think it's about 20 Celsius. It's 6:30 in the morning, I think. I really love this pitch. It's. I can hear the rain, I just can't really feel it because of the holly trees. And every little leaf is a bit of protection. Oh. Oh, what a sheep. Fuck off, sheep. That's some weird noises last night again. I think it was foxes. I'm pretty sure it was foxes. It's like this weird screeching kind of noise. But, yeah. I am missing that I don't have a coffee for the breakfast. That would be so nice right now. Just do a little fire. Have a coffee. But it means bringing lots of other stuff with me. With me. Yeah, it's not a hammock that I'm going to want to spend lots of time just crashed out in relaxing. Oh. Other than overnight. Whereas the other one, it's big enough that you can actually just chill in one. Yeah, chill out in it. Yeah, next time, it's either going to be the tent, which I'm not happy about the tent. The tent's alright. It's the psychology of it. I've read so many books about rats eating people and shit. So being on the ground freaks me out a little bit. Plus, I had a cow sleep on my tent one time while I was inside it. So, yeah, I think I might take the small tent, the new one, to the beach one day. Okay. Just listening to the wind is so nice. Quick word on packing stuff away and how you treat your kit. Okay, first of all, hammock, it does the job. It was like 17, 18 quid, I think. It does the job. It's too small to be as comfortable as I would like. But it does the job. You know, I got a nice bit of kit. Now, kits, if you've got one of those tarps, modern tarps have a silver coating on it. It's actually called a silver coating. The problem is they are really great. They are very waterproof, very lightweight. It's like an aluminium spray they put on. The problem is that if you scrunch it up too tight, it will flake. If you sit on it, like I do, it will flake. And if you hold it up to the light, you can actually see little pinpricks of light coming through. That is where you've worn away through it by scrunching it up too tightly. So it's great, does a job, but you cannot abuse it. Sleeping bags, underquilts, that kind of stuff, quilted materials, same as this. If it's got proper down feathers, you cannot put it in the washing machine. If you get it soaking wet, it's going to be clumping when it dries. If it's microfiber or modern fibres, the problem you're going to get is that if you crush it too tightly, if you scrunch it up and sit on it too much, it will bunch together. And instead of having an even layer of insulation, creating air gaps, you'll have clumps and no protection. Clumps, no protection. So it's little things you have to be aware of. If that does happen, you can actually just like pull it apart from, not take it out, but you can just like twiddle it around to try and space it out. So if you sit on it too much, it will clump. So yeah, another glorious fucking day in this man's concentration camp. Yeah, I turned the radio off, I got pissed off with it. It's not just the fact that it's all black music, no matter what channel you go to, it's Jewish and black. It's the fact that they keep dropping in propaganda, even the local stations. Oh look, it's going to be another typical standard, back to normal summer weather. 35 degrees Celsius. 35 degrees Celsius. And they're playing music from the 80s, and I'm thinking, well, back in the 80s, the hottest it got was 17 Celsius. If it got anywhere near 20 degrees Celsius, people would shut down. Hospitals, schools, they would shut down if it hit 20 Celsius. Now, that's winter. So, right, I'll finish packing up and get the fuck out. I did feel a bit guilty. There's a lot of sheep running around here, and the food I brought with me was eggs. Eggs are really, really filling. Really filling. And some roast lamb. I felt a little bit guilty. Not that guilty not to eat it, but, you know.